here to represent what you might call the ghost of Roger's past. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Ricky and he's my uncle. I'm also here to represent my cousin Anna. A little choked up, so give me a second. Just bear with me. She asked me to say a few words, and I told her not only is it would I do it, but it would be a privilege and honor to do so. So, Anna, also known as Kaka Cream. So she would just like to say, howdy, I am Anna Jimenez, the daughter of Joseph Jimenez. I'm not able to be here today due to health issues, so my cousin Ricky will speak on my behalf for me. My first memories of my dad is when I was about 4 years old. He would give me and Johnny piggyback rides when he got off work from Firestone. We'd also follow behind him when he was mowing the lawn and playing the grass that he mowed behind us, the trails. I grew up knowing about his Korean War days, about being in a submarine, and traveling to Asia. My dad was not the kindest father that would show affection or say that he loved you, but he also did show his family love in other ways, like nicknames. I was the Cock Cream, Johnny was Shine or Sheenan, Daniel was the Goober, Doc also, I remember Doc. Zane was the Little Goober, cousin Ricky and me was the Hawk, and little Ricky was Little Ickles or Little Icky. My mom, for some reason, was called the Ostrich. And the nicknames go on and on. One of my favorites is right here, they call it Cockroach. What I learned growing up with my dad's work ethics, education was important. My dad made sure our needs were met, did all sorts of activities together. Your typical all-American going to the movies in his old station wagon, fishing, camping, barbecues at Toro Park with friends, boating, skiing, family barbecues at home with family and friends, weekends at home with celebrating birthdays and holidays was always my favorite. There are two hobbies that my dad and I together share. Marching band music. It reminds me of my dad. Up until I was 16 years old, my dad would take me to the yearly marching band competition in Salinas. And it was the only thing my dad and I ever did together without anybody else. So every year at Santa Cruz Boardwalk is a marching band competition. I attend with my son, Rocket, and I always think about my dad, just the two of us, sitting in the stands, listening and appreciating marching bands. The other thing was our family genealogy and ancestry. I had his DNA done, and we were 65% indigenous, America's Mexico, 25% Spaniard, and a small percentage European Portuguese. He did tell me stories about my great-grandmother and the encounters with the French Army and the American Indians. It was fascinating shit, but we won't get into that. My dad was witty, a jokester, and would say things that would be offensive and tell bold jokes. But that was my dad. My dad definitely shocked many of my friends, but my friends still liked him because they liked both things anyways. So my dad was a good man, a good father, and a good grandfather. He was his own person and did things his own way. He didn't want anyone to know how really sick he was. Instead, he just stayed home and didn't get out much. I talked to him a few days before he passed, and he seemed fine. He was jovial. Our last conversation was pleasant, and the last words to me were, "Ana la quest, Papa Cream," in his own unique voice. I'll never forget his own unique voice. Thank you, Cousin Ricky, for reading my eulogy. Thank you to family and friends that are here today to celebrate the life of my dad, Jose. Anna. I'd just like to add that on my behalf, I spent a lot of summers in Salinas with him, and we talked about a prototypical all-American life. He'd come home 5 o'clock, briefcase in hand, newspaper in the other, you know, pecked the wife on the cheek, had a beautiful wife, great kids, and they all ate together. I always found it funny how they all read something at the table. Every time we had dinner, you had to have something to read. I really got to know him in '88 when he came down from Salinas and decided to park his wagon here in Colton. Him along with my mom came up with the corner pocket. And, you know, there was good times, with some bad times, but for the most part, they were really good times. I learned a lot from him. I learned how to lead without actually having to exert yourself, and he would always, you know, he had company over, he'd just make a shitload of food, potatoes, eggs, bacon, sausage, whatever it is. He never asked, "Are you hungry?" or "Whoever wants to eat, just eat." He just make that shit go outside. Just you smoke, eating carrot, you guys want to eat, eat. You know, kind of use the protocol. He introduced me to natural light. I've been doing natural light ever since. He's very eccentric. He's a modern day Archie Bunker. And I'll always love him, and he has a deep space in my heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you.